Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to WRMK News 12 Evening Newscast. We have a lot of news to get to this Monday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, Ron DeSantis ends presidential campaign before the New Hampshire primary. Yesterday, Ron DeSantis announced that he was ending his 2024 Republican presidential campaign and also announced that he is endorsing Donald Trump. Fight broken up at Concord High School boys basketball game, school leaders say. Back on Friday night on August 19th, 2024, a fight was broken up at the Concord High School boys basketball game. Concord High School Principal Tim Herbert sent a message to the community saying the incident was tragic, targeted, and the general fan in attendance was not in danger. Concord High School staff, fans, and Concord police were able to break up the altercation, school leaders said. School leaders said that all parties involved have been identified. Principal Tim Herbert did mention and stressed that this incident is not a reflection of the Crimson Tide community. It is the dangerous behavior of a few, and it will not be tolerated. Investigation underway into Henniker crash. On Thursday night on Route 202 and Route 9 in Henniker, there is an investigation that is underway into what caused a multi-vehicle crash. A pickup truck was traveling on Route 202 and Route 9 when it went over the center line and struck a car. The SUV slammed into the pickup truck. A total of 5 people, including a 4-year-old, were injured. Anyone who witnessed the incident is asked to call 603-428-3213. Museum of New Art in Portsmouth closes. The Museum of New Art in Portsmouth, New Hampshire on Congress Street has suspended operation due to financial challenges. The Museum of New Art opened back on October 2021 and hosted more than 16,000 visitors and presented 6 exhibitions featuring local, regional, and national artists. The co-person of the museum's board announced Thursday in a prepared statement the museum was shutting down. Concord Black Ice Pond Hockey Championship moved to February. The annual Black Ice Pond Hockey Tournament held at White Park in Concord will now be taking place February 9th through the 11th. It was supposed to be held at the end of January, but that will not be happening now due to the weather and things. Sununu had already called GOP primary two-person race. On Sunday morning on NBC's Meet the Press that aired yesterday, Sununu said Haley knocked everybody out, even Ron. New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu has already calling the GOP primary a two-person race hours before Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced he was suspending his campaign. Chris Sununu also said DeSantis is in it, but he's not really in it. Chris Sununu also mentioned that Tuesday's New Hampshire primary wasn't a make or break for Haley. He did say she'll have to start winning states once it becomes a one-on-one race. Dean Phillips says it's time to turn the page with a Phillips-Haley matchup. On Sunday, Congressman Dean Phillips was on WMUR TV Close-Up. He also had events in Hampton and Rochester. Dean Phillips said, Joe Biden is a good man. He did investments in America, but We need to invest in America and Americans moving forward. You know, Nikki Haley, I think, said it well. The country wants to turn the page. He also said, I do think a Haley Phillip matchup this November would be something better for this country. Dean Phillips shared his pro choice views. He said that he believes the government should stay away from women's bodies. Marianne Williamson shares hopes of culture transformation in the face of violence. On Sunday, Democratic candidate Marianne Williamson was on WMUR TV Close-Up. While on Close-Up, she described her approach to solving violence, including the epidemic of mass shootings in America. Marianne Williamson is one of two candidates challenging President Joe Biden who will not appear on the New Hampshire ballot in accordance with the Democratic National Committee's calendar that set South Carolina to be the first primary election for Democrats. Williamson mentioned that even if DNC takes away New Hampshire delegates, it can't take away the importance of the primary. Williamson had two events. The first one was in Nashua, and the second one was in Peterborough yesterday. At 81 years old, Judge Judy says Joe Biden and Donald Trump are too old to be president, as she endorsed Nikki Haley. On Sunday evening, Judith Schreidlin, also known as Judge Judy, was at the Exeter High School in New Hampshire. After she announced her support for the former UN ambassador earlier this month, Judith Schreidlin said this 77-year-old former President Donald Trump and 81-year-old President Joe Biden are too old to be president. America deserves better than Donald Trump or Joe Biden. America deserves a leader, a posed, smart, centered, focused, moral leader. Neither one of those two men qualify. The famed television judge told WMUR in a one-on-one interview in New Hampshire on Sunday, they think Biden's 81 and he is better. You don't get better. I'm 81 and I'm telling you, she said. Judith Schreidlin said it's time for a new generation of leadership. And for that reason, she's endorsing former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley for president. Nikki Haley has gravity's poise and intellectual capacity and the focus that we need now as a country to get us out of the bitterness that seems to be preserved, Schreidlin said. Nikki Haley said this to WMUR. The judge has been a trailblazer. She's tough. She speaks hard truth, but she says what she knows is right. And so those are the endorsements you want. It's not the political class that you want. It's those endorsements because it's people who are going to tell you the truth, even when it's hard. Nikki Haley was busy on Sunday. She started off on WMUR TV Close-Up, followed by a bunch of events in the Seacoast area of New Hampshire. Her last stop last night was her rally at Exeter High School to a packed crowd of supporters. 1,000 plus Granite Staters flooded into the auditorium at Exeter High School. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's talk about some sports. In sports news, the Boston Celtics, they had a game last night, and the final score of the Boston Celtics game last night, Boston Celtics 116 and Houston Rockets 107. Celtics won yesterday. Congratulations, Celtics. The Celtics have a game tonight at 8:30 p.m. against the Mavericks. Let's go Celtics. Hopefully they can win tonight's game. And the Boston Bruins, they play tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. against Winnipeg Jets. Let's go Bruins. Hopefully they can win tonight's game. And that does it for your evening newscast right here on WRMK News 12. Thank you for watching. Have a great evening. Good night and goodbye.